What's up, guys? One of the most important and valuable commodities for your online business is traffic. Traffic is king. Targeted internet traffic, to be accurate. The little tiny time it's going to take you to watch this video is so worth it. This is the most painless video to watch. You're going to love it. You know, even though a lot of my traffic sources are things that you might have heard of before, these traffic sources are done in a most unique way that get results and get you commissions and sell your domains and all sorts of cool stuff. So make sure to watch the entire thing. Thank you. To sell your product or service, you need traffic. And you know what? An online business is actually quite similar to a traditional brick and mortar business. They're both selling something like a product or a service to an unlimited amount of people non-exclusively, right? For example, a restaurant. When you're starting a restaurant, the first thing you're going to think of is its location. You have to decide whether or not your place of business is going to be included in a strip mall or a standalone building at the side of the road. See, there are advantages to having your restaurant located in a strip mall, and there's no way that you're not going to notice the restaurant. It's right in front of you. You're a part of a community where the name of your business is featured in the directory when entering the parking lot. And then a standalone location, it's up to you to direct people to the location. You're going to have advantages to that too. Heck, your competition might be right next to you in the strip mall, right? So a standalone location, you see where I'm going with that. But they both have advantages. Now, an online business is really the same thing. You have choices and you can make decisions on where you want your business located. If you build your own website, it's like you build your own restaurant, but in the woods. There's no roads, there's no directories, and there's no sign at the side of the road. And if you decide a website isn't the way to go and you want to set up shop at Fiverr.com, which is community-based, this would be similar to setting up your restaurant in the mall or the strip mall. Now, again, there's advantages to both. You find some really good fancy restaurants that are renting out their location in a strip mall. And then there's an advantage to having your own website, of course, where you have much more freedom in an interface that might get even much more traffic and customers from the main road, just like the standalone location, than you would in the strip mall. And I think at this point, I can come right out and say it. I'm a big believer in building your own website. This is the way that I was able to structure my business when I was first starting out. And I was able to find the sweet spot when it came to ensuring my visitors bought what I was selling, as well as integrating upsells, a mailing list, and automatic delivery of my product. And I've done this over and over again since. I mean, let's be honest here. My first few websites like Beats 365, Hip Hop Beats, Downloads wasn't the right type of business for Fiverr with other marketplaces like Fiverr. Sometimes your business model is different than what is accepted in a certain market. If internet business was an actual real world business, it would be the equivalent of being able to start up a restaurant that simultaneously operated as a water park as well as a strip club located in the jungle with an airstrip where your customers are flown in on spaceships. Simply put, you can do all sorts of stuff with your own website. Some people do really well with Fiverr, not discounting that, but let's assume that you're hungry for internet traffic and you're not part of a marketplace where the traffic is built in. You set up your website, you set up your payment processor, and then initiate internet traffic to check out your products and services. So what I'm going to do is reveal 5 different methods I use for free traffic generation. So number 1, and this is a free traffic strategy, okay? SEO, aka search engine optimization, aka Google rankings, aka takeover. The goal being you want to show up number 1 for a search query on Google, and those people who searched your search term or keyword click on you first. Because if you are not optimized in the search engines, you'll be on page 44 or something, and everyone finds other products and services by the time they get to page 3. Dominating the search results at the top is a good goal because the vast majority will click on those first results first, depending on the term, upwards of 70 to 80 to 90%. So that would be 9 out of 10 people who search will click on the first results right away. Now, I'm not saying that people won't check out the other results, but this confirms a very natural phenomenon where there is a big difference between being number 1 and number 2. So how do you get your website to show up number 1 for a search? Well, first off, Google wants to continue as the number 1 go-to search engine. So therefore, they want their results accurate, representing what the person was looking for in the first place. The guy who is searching using the keyword toe fungus needs to like the result that he gets. So they've created algorithms and they analyze the performance of every site that is listed. A site that captures the attention of the prospect more than its competition will be rewarded by appearing above a site that it beats. So this is the most important thing. It's rewarding you based on your performance and your ability to make the most accurate connection between the search query and the content on your site. So if you can create great content, it should be a good thing for you. And this is a much better situation than a few years ago where marketers and scammers could trick the system. Google and other search engines are much smarter now. They can see if you've got an entertaining and content-rich website by calculating the time a prospect spends on the pages. So the first thing to do would be to make sure that the on-page optimization is top-notch. Have a good domain name, have a good page name, have a good page title. Make sure your meta tags are correct. You got the correct keywords, and there's keywords in the title. Keeping it all targeted and relevant. You could even look at your competition as an example and see what they've done right by viewing source, and then make sure the content on your page is relevant to that search query. Next, think about it like it's a competition where you want to keep that prospect on your page longer than your competition can. Keep them on the page, so you want good content. Freaking genius content. Don't outsource it. So now that you got your page all rockstar-ish, and you got that on-page optimization, add an updated sitemap to your Google account so Google can crawl the content. Next up, say for instance your website was featured on NewYorkTimes.com. I'm not saying that you're going to be able to achieve that, but if you did, a writer at the New York Times did an article on your site. Now NewYorkTimes.com is recognized as a very established website, so this would help you tremendously in the search engines with just that link, just that one backlink. You got to remember that. And this is just an example. There's other websites, of course, where if Google sees your relationship between your site and theirs, this will also affect your performance. So you might have heard of this. Again, they're called backlinks. Websites that have links to your website. See, this is similar to if you had that restaurant in the woods or the forest, simply paving some roads or a driveway to the main road so people can visit your restaurant. But the backlinks aren't necessarily what's going to get you the traffic. The idea is that you're going to get traffic from Google when people do a search and find your website ranking in the results. So the more relevant real backlinks you get, you'll be rewarded. It's a trust thing. Now, things can go very wrong. Say, for instance, if you have some type of automated software that adds 20,000 backlinks in a day, all from really non-ranking, non-relevant websites, Google will punish you. It's called a Google slap. So you would be better off with 10 or 20 backlinks from high page rank websites like Cracked.com, NewYorkTimes.com, or Wikipedia.org. High ranking websites themselves. Having a backlink from Wikipedia.org is monstrous. I had my website beat tons of competition just from my page on Wikipedia. True story. So that's the game. And I mean, I'm somebody who has definitely benefited from his website showing up in the search engines. I wouldn't say it's my main focus or that I'm an SEO expert. In fact, a lot of my success has happened without me doing much at all. But sometimes I just ended up #1 on Google for a good search term from a ton of traffic I got elsewhere. This happens when you have a ton of affiliates on ClickBank, to be honest. So it was definitely worth mentioning that you should use SEO as a method of traffic for your business. Now, the second traffic method I want to talk about today is another free traffic strategy, and that is, yep, you guessed it, YouTube. YouTube is right now, as of June 21st, 2021, #2 most visited website in the world. Millions and millions of users watch videos on YouTube, and if you have a YouTube channel or acquire a YouTube channel, you can direct targeted traffic from YouTube to your website in a number of ways. First off, before we talk about the specifics of driving traffic in this way, note that you can either start your own YouTube channel or you can rent, buy, or barter with an existing YouTube content creator. Perhaps do a joint venture or an interview with someone who already has a YouTube following to get traffic, where you can ask that person how much it would cost for them to feature your link in the description box or mention you in a video. For instance, you can sponsor the YouTube content creator, but sometimes if you are without a budget or feel that spending money on advertising is unnecessary, you can arrange an interview where the content creator asks you questions to test your authenticity. And at the end of the interview, you would shout out your site. So it would only take an hour of your time, and then you've got ongoing traffic from the video for potentially a very long time. And this is the same thing as shout-outs with Instagram promoting an OnlyFans. And then you can contact the owner of a YouTube account, ask them how much it would cost for you to buy the YouTube account. That's the lazy way. Next up, we need to briefly talk about what to do once you've got either your own video or someone else's video. There's plenty of potential eyeballs on YouTube, but how do you get them to your site? The obvious thing to do first is to mention your site name in the video, and if you can't do that, if you're using someone else's video and it's already published, you can add a link that'll appear on the video itself. You can add annotations, and then you can include your link either in the description box or a pinned comment underneath the video. Obviously, the optimal way to get good traffic is towards the end of the video. You can direct people either by explaining where to go in the video or with a link on the screen to visit your website, opt in, register, or call. Okay, so number 3, the third method of traffic is from Facebook. Facebook has many different solutions for achieving this. Of course, you have your personal Facebook page, but a lot of the time you don't want to mix business and pleasure. So let's start a fan page. A fan page is very similar to your personal profile, but where you can brand it for your business or your keyword, and then people will like and follow your page. You can really go to town with a fan page because it operates a lot differently. With a fan page, you could have literally 1 million followers or even more. I found that fan pages were great for my students who have a personality. Say, for instance, you enjoy creating videos or articles based on your opinions and your experience, and you're good at expressing yourself and providing great information for people. You might want to consider having a Facebook fan page, to be honest with you. It's a great way to congregate your traffic and keep said traffic in one place, and then you can direct it to go wherever you want, whenever you like, by posting an announcement or an event or an article or information on a certain topic. You can also start a Facebook group, which is really a conversation-driven, manifested machine. And you could also charge to become part of a private group too, if your information is very serious, professional, and valuable. So this would be if you're in a niche or a market where groups and people want to ask questions and have a conversation about something. That's going to be another way of retaining the traffic first and then directing this traffic to your website whenever you want. So the next method of traffic I want to talk about is using Quora.com. Quora is a questions and answers website. People go to Quora to ask questions about a certain issue they're having, a problem they're having, or sometimes basic information. And then people or experts answer those specific questions. You can join Quora and then start answering questions right away. You can then recommend your website or your YouTube channel. Just be careful in the way that you promote yourself, all right? You don't want to give the impression that you're just using the website to siphon the traffic away from them. You will want to give value, all right? And to be an asset to the community. And you might even want to invite them to your website in stages. All right, so last but not least, Craigslist.org. Craigslist.org is similar to an online bulletin board where people can sell used furniture, find someone in their community that teaches drum lessons, or you can get a job as employers are looking for you and use Craigslist to find you. So obviously, if you have the right type of website, this might be a good fit for you. Back in the day, though, we used to use Craigslist to promote ClickBank offers, but nowadays, they won't let you do that. And also, one of the niches was the personal section. That's gone now. So what you can do is announce a meeting you're having or a webinar that you're putting on, a Zoom call, and invite people to attend. That's a very good way to do it. Or you can have them direct email and send them affiliate links, that type of thing. But make sure your listing doesn't get flagged, all right? Everyone on Craigslist does not like affiliate marketers, so be slick. But get them to the webinar. You can schedule the Zoom call or webinar ahead of time, post 2 days before in different major cities in the gigs section, explaining it's a remote conference, and then get all these folks on your newsletter or in your email list. And once in your email list, you can drive this traffic to your website whenever you want by doing a broadcast. All right. So that's it for these free traffic methods today. I'll be back pretty soon with some more methods like, for instance, doing article marketing and using Medium, Mix, and other awesome strategies. Also, I wish I put expired domain names in here because expired domain names is a great way to get traffic. And there's a ton of other things. Save it for another video. But if you do have any questions, hit us up in the comments. I'd be glad to answer them. And sign up at onlinegoldmine.com. It's for free. I don't sell anything. If I sell anything to you through that list, you can come back to YouTube and you can ream me out, and I never erase comments or anything like that. I just promise I won't sell anything to you. It's just total philanthropy. I have nothing better to do. I'm here in my mansion during the pandemic, and I don't need any more money. All right, I promise you. Or you can read me out. I'll take a lie detector test. All right, this is Jamie Lewis. Thank you very much. I'm signing off, and let's kick some ass together and make a ton of dough, and I'll see you in Vegas.